Cam, brand new news from a reputable reporter on college football realignment.
What has happened to Donna Kelsey?
Christopher Lambert tweets, ACC and Big 12 to discuss the possibility of consolidating media rights. That would effectively mean a merger. They're going to potentially discuss a merger. Here's why. Here's why this makes so much sense. Is West Virginia and Louisville, same conference. Pitt, Cincinnati, same conference. Virginia Tech playing UCF. I can wrap my head around that. I'll figure that one out. I'll get
versus
there.
Duke.
Yeah. Oh, Tech Duke basketball.
BU versus BC.
Herein lies the problem. Here's the layers we're going to unpack with this.
Yeah.
When you merger, Brett Yormark and Jim Phillips, who's an idiot, when you merger, you're going to have to kick out Syracuse. You're going to have to kick out Boston College. If you want to survive, we need to get this down to, and Lord, please forgive me, 20, 22 teams. There are 17 in the ACC and 16 in the Big 12. We need to cut 11 schools out of this merger.
So we will have Pitt, West Virginia, just probably somewhere else if we're cutting 11 teams out of it.
We're cutting 11 teams. I don't know if we will get Pitt in there. We should, but I don't know if we will.
I wonder though, do they do... You're right. At the end of the day, you are right about this, but I'm wondering, like, can you get around this by doing some sort of scheduling? Like, you play 6 ACC teams if you're an ACC team.
No, because
Big 12 teams.
No, yes, that sounds so nice, and it would be awesome.
I know it's a lot of moving parts.
But here's the deal, man. Here's the reason. At some point, something's got to give, and you'll either have to A, merge, or B, the Big 12 resorbs whoever they want out of the ACC, not named Florida State and Clemson, right? Who will probably go into the Big 10 but they also both suck at football now. And so they're less sexy than they were 2 years ago when everybody wanted both of them. So kind of what we're getting at here, this is a move to counter the Big 10 and the SEC paying $55 million a year per school. Like your school in those conferences is making that. The Big 12 is like $35 million. That's a $20 million gap. That's an entire revenue share to your entire athletic department. We can't sustain that. We're going to have to do something different. And it's kind of like if you combine the top end of the Big 12, top end of the ACC, you can get $48 million a year per each member school, have a competitive revenue from TVs, go to 3 conferences right off into the sunset. This is probably where we're actually heading because we learned nothing on Friday at the president's seminar.
I mean, yeah, it reminds me of when the Pac-12 dissolved. Brett Yormark had already made all those moves, those TV rights deals beforehand. It kind of kept the Big 12 alive. That's probably the next thing you're looking at of making it a 3-conference league, so to speak. Like, three giant conferences, which does stink. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, boy, I love that for college football.
It sucks.
Or college basketball.
Whoa. Can I pause you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know where I was going with
I do kind of love it.
Why is that?
I do kind of like West Virginia and Pitt being a conference game.
No, I know. I like those things.
I do like that we're going to get some. We're going to be able to, and this is the saving grace of it. Let's say 24 teams, okay? Now we can do pods of 6.
Yes.
You play your 6 regional teams. And so I know, which is great. Like
they were terrified of that when we got to 16.
I could give Brett Yormark my taxes right now, and that dude would finish them in 12 minutes. He would just boom, 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 numbers. Yeah. What if I said, Brett Yormark, create good football schedule? Does not compute. Batteries run out.
404, bad getaway.
Needs to be plugged back in. He's the little dinosaur jumping over the cactuses on the Google feed. He can't figure out scheduling. But if I'm commissioner, get it, Josh Pate's bit. If I'm commissioner, then I think every conference should be. I love the idea of having your 6-team pod, and I can expect it. The SEC West was awesome. East versus, you knew you'd play those 6 teams every year in football and a couple of rotators from the other side of the conference. I don't hate that, man. We used to be a proper society.
And you know what that lends itself to, which is something that the other conferences have talked about.
Drugs. Drugs?
Yeah. A lot of drug talk.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say 24, you do 4 groups of 6, right?
Yeah.
Then what you can do, Drake, pod winners, semifinals, 2 rounds, of the Big 12 ACC championship.
Okay.
Remember, the SEC was already talking about that.
I love a good pod.
Let's make it a tournament.
I love a good pod.
For the football conference championship. That's huge. That automatically gets you against top competition at the most important part of the year. No having to worry about, BYU, Utah. Is that going to be 2 ranked teams in November? You don't have to worry about that. You're going to have that.
Yeah.
Of course, Duke is going to win the whole thing. Like they did in football. Just going to screw around and win the whole thing.
Duke's going to finish the season.
The whole idea is just up in flames. But
6-6, but technically due to the tiebreaker, Duke will be going to the championship.
And the rising tide lifts all boats, like for both conferences.
No, I like that there are 4 or 5 teams all tied at 11-1 and 10-2, and we just let Duke in there. It's like, by rule, who deserves it? Who's played the hardest?
Is like, we deserve to be in. I think we're in.
You know, that's a funny thing that came out of Duke asking to be in the playoffs. You know, they all knew in the back of their brain, this is never happening. we don't deserve to be here.
It's like you going into some of your shows of like, I'm going to get there somehow in the middle of the first segment. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. There before the grace of God go all of us.
This news coming from an analyst who covers it closely, by the way, is it's not going to happen tomorrow. Right. So don't freak out. Clickbait. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But this is something that's going to have to happen. The Big 12 in 5 years will not exist as it does today because it's not feasible. Financially, it's not feasible. We can't continue this on this path. And yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Something like this, something of this nature will happen.
Well, I'm just thinking like what from the commissioner's offices, both commissioner's offices in Charlotte and Irving, like what are the downsides? I can think of some member schools that can think of the downsides, the Syracuses and the Boston Colleges of the world.
Well, I think if you're the Big 12, you say the Big 12 says, hey, we're in a better spot for leverage. None of our teams want to leave. So why wouldn't we just come into your league, take the 6 that we want and say, see you to the rest of you? You know, because the Big 12 doesn't want to cut UCF in favor of Duke. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I mean, any league probably cuts UCF in favor of Duke. The Big 12 they have loyalty. They don't want to do that. So your Mark's saying, I don't want a merger where we have to cut a bunch of schools. I want to be me. I want to be number one. Me. Is that Lone Star?
I don't think so.
Early Tim McGraw. I want to talk about me.
Late, great Toby Keith.
Is it Toby Keith?
I think that
it is. I want to talk about me. That's Toby Keith. Yeah, good call. Good shout. Good shout. Coming up.
I miss him.
ESPN wants to put Auburn in the NCAA tournament, but not West Virginia, not Baylor, not Utah. That's a problem. This is a Locked On Big 12, Locked On Baylor crossover. Hey, today's show is brought to you by Mazda. Yeah, Mazda, man, something about it. It makes me happy that Mazda has jumped on with Locked On, namely during a time such as this where the big games are upon us. This is Mazda's moving the game forward. For those who show there's more to the score than what's on the screen, the BYU Cougars reminded us of what it takes to raise the bar this week. It's the extra effort off the court, dialing in every detail, giving that extra fire, that grit, the eye never quit. We put the same passion into every model. Highlights make the reel. What it took to get there makes it count. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. And the BYU Cougars proved that against Texas Tech this week. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you with Mazda.